What's up, everybody? I'm back with another Vara video about the new CEO of Xbox. Genuinely interested in what new information we find out about this lady, because so far we do know she has no experience in gaming whatsoever. No coding, character building, nothing of the idiosyncrasies that is needed in terms of creating a video game. So this is probably gonna be a lot, but check out Veradark's channel. And she always gets like the best, true information, unbiased information as possible, so you guys can consume and make a firm decision whether or not you will consume product or not. Follow me on my channel, YouTube and Twitch, as I stream games, react to content, and review content as well. So, like the video, and let's check out the video. Xbox screwed. New CEO has no gaming background, AI responses, and fake Xbox account. What a disaster.
Brutal for Xbox. The brand new CEO announcement hasn't quite gone over the way that they probably expected, and every single day people are finding out more and more about this new individual who is taking over Xbox, somebody who doesn't have a long history of being in the video game industry, of playing video games, and her account seems to be ran by AI. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, Xbox has been dead for a very long time, so I don't necessarily think that she could do significantly worse. I guess technically she might be slightly better than Sarah Bond, but Sarah Bond was behind some of the terrible decisions that were made at Xbox over the past decade. I think that she would have been a god-awful choice, and, well, this person might have a good business head on her shoulders. She might actually make Microsoft a little bit of money, but will she resonate with gamers? So far, that hasn't happened, and it is one thing for a CEO to not...
And, to be fair, given a year of working at Xbox, and we see some, increased revenue and other beneficial strategies that's boosting the, reputation of Xbox considerably, then we know that, Asha is probably the one to thank for that. So I'll be glad to eat my words. That, I will fully admit that she would, she got a good head on her shoulders, and she knows how to take this company in a good direction. But right now, as it stands, we just don't know. After a year, we'll see. So she just got job recently, so this time by next mid to late February, we can truly assess what necessary changes have been made, what moves have been done, what positives had came out from her new position, and choices and changes she implemented. I think a year is more than enough time to actually make a fair judgment of the new CEO, in my opinion.
Not have a long history in a space, especially in the video game industry, but it's another to lie about your history. And during a time when so many people are afraid of AI taking over our hobby and companies doing the least amount of effort possible, when your account is seemingly ran by AI, that's not going to resonate with a lot of gamers. Now, I did already talk about the initial situation in another video. It will be linked down below, but Phil Spencer is retiring, Sarah Bond has resigned, and it didn't seem like this was planned because 3 hours before Sarah Bond resigned, resigned, she was making posts on her LinkedIn about the future of Xbox. So seems that she was hit with this last minute. Can't say I feel all that bad. After 10 years, you were clearly given a good enough chance to prove yourself and prove your worth to your company. But the new CEO will be Asha Sharma, the current president of Microsoft's Core AI product. They are going full AI, and I just don't think that this is a very smart decision. Asha Sharma had come out and said that they will recommit to their core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with consoles, which have shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox, and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Now, this isn't a bad statement, but it is a very carefully crafted statement. They are trying to make you feel like, wow, you care about our time investment, our money investment. You recognize that we've been fans of Xbox for decades. You're saying you're going to celebrate your roots. It is a good PR statement. I will at least admit that. But everything else that has happened over the past few days with her hasn't looked very good. And it's why people...
To be fair, you know, a lot of these things require some kind of PR people. She cannot go off the cuff on this. She actually had to make some kind of buttery, you know, PR move statement in order to ease people in, because she is not starting off on a good foot. So this, I can't begrudge her from using like a PR move like this PR statement. I can't begrudge her, because yeah, she needs to like say the right things, at least for right now, until she is settled in, before she can actually speak, you know, a little bit more flexibly.
Are so freaking worried. I think that they probably are going to continue to get wrecked. Like, I don't see the sentiment changing for the positive anytime soon. And this could be a situation where she's CEO for like 2 years and then she leaves because she just can't handle it. But she is an AI executive with no background in gaming, which is the first major red flag, because we see a lot of women being hired simply because of a diversity checklist. I believe people should be hired based on merits, and there are women in the video game industry who could be put in positions of power, who could do a phenomenal job, or women that did even help shape this industry. I know people like Roberta Williams go forgotten, Amy Hennig go forgotten, a lot of women go forgotten, but to hire somebody who has no history in the games industry, doesn't really care about video games, and then handing them a brand like Xbox, it is a very bad decision.
I bet the only game this new woman has probably played her entire life was probably Refit. And if you ask her, what's your favorite game, she'll probably throw out some, well, I was about to say, she'll probably throw out some easy answer, throwaway answer like Super Mario or something like that. But considering it's Xbox, she'll probably throw in like a I don't know, Halo, maybe. Some, you know, just to appease, because it's, you know, we gotta, you know, really support Xbox, so let's throw out an Xbox type of character. Because, you know, I doubt she actually, you know, play that many games in her life. She looks like a Wii Fit player. That's probably like the most I would give her. If you look at her in her face, it's like, yeah, you're a Wii Fit player, because you need like that, you know, you do those yoga poses, you know, in your little condo.
You need to put people in positions of power that gamers can actually trust. And when she was the COO of Instacart, a board member of Coupang, a board member of Home Depot, and then suddenly goes to Microsoft and has these positions of power, yeah, this isn't going to resonate with gamers. And to top that off, it seems that her like social media presence is at least in part AI. Xbox CEO's profile is 1 month old and shows suspicious behavior. She's actually been having conversations with people on her X, which is mighty suspicious. It just is very strange. So here's one post from Permaband that says, part of the ongoing rabbit hole of a discovery concerning Microsoft's new gaming division CEO is that we have been told the new CEO of Xbox will be good for the brand and Microsoft's gaming division. But there are problems because, first of all, the very first achievement she unlocked was dated January 16th, 2026, the Halo Master Chief Collection, so it is at best a month-old account. Achievements for multiple games unlocked on the same date, implying non-organic grinding of various distinct games within the span of one day. 100% completion in short walking sim type games like Firewatch, Gone Home, A Short Hike, Townscaper, and Ball Pit. She played for 43 hours in 1 week. How does the future CEO of Xbox have this much time to know life so many different video games? And I've seen people bringing up how she has like very rare achievements in some of these games, which, yeah, I mean, I guess in theory, maybe she played some of these titles, but I just can't imagine that she's got over 40 hours worth of free time in her week to play video games. Like, that's just not a narrative you are going to push.
Yeah, that's when, like, I knew that was gonna be a thing. She's gonna throw in all these games like you would not buy for a second she probably played. Now, I could be wrong. We don't know. We weren't there. We just kind of like working on like guesses at this point. And I'm willing to bet that our guesses are at least 70% in the correct side of things. Because let's be honest, does she look like any shooter type of game player? Does she give that feeling of a girl with a headset on and leaning in and like, on like the constant, talking to other players about like, as they playing COD, and it's like, giving orders and like, come on, man. Oh, Jimmy, you suck, man. Like, gives it like, talking trash, and it's like you don't see her in that space at all. She doesn't give that at all. Now, some people end up surprising you. Like, if she's like, if you hand her a controller and throw in like a random COD game at her, and have her like, play it, and she's just like murking fools with expertise, it's like, okay, then it's like, oh, okay, well, excuse the heck out of me. Like, I'm wrong. I want to see that. If you just throw something at her randomly, can catch her by surprise, none of this PR move stuff. No, you want to actually see her play like a COD or a Halo game, or something she claims that she played before. Throw it at her and see how, like, how intuitive she is at immersing herself, getting into it, and just like, systematically just killing fools in a game. If she shows there is some skill in that, okay, then more than willing to buy her claims that she is a gamer. She has never ran a gaming company. Okay, but I doubt that. I doubt she's like that much of a gamer, if at all. Personally, you can just tell sometimes,
successfully and that people are going to buy into and believe. And then you have the conversation that she had with Smash JT. She posted top 3 greatest games ever. Why? Go. He said Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VII, GoldenEye 007. And she had said, great list. I did my top 3 in another reply. Halo, Valheim, 007. It's been a long time since I played Chrono Trigger. Have you done every ending? Thanks for all the detail. I appreciate it a ton. This right here screams to me AI. Thanks for all of the detail. I appreciate it a ton. Yeah, I know a bot when I see one. And maybe she actually is using this account to look at replies on social media and gauge the general sentiment, but I also don't believe that the CEOs sit on X all the time and post unless they're Elon Musk and you're the richest man in the world and you can basically just hire anyone to do anything you want and you just want to fuck around all day. I just don't think that is the case. And so we are talking about very suspicious account history, very suspicious wording. It's just not a very positive situation for Xbox, and that's why.
At the very least, don't know if Vara kind of notices at all, but at the very least, I'm kind of taking a sigh of relief that she's not one of those people that actually have all these crazy pronouns and all these different types of flags in her bio. That's a bit of a sigh of relief. Because, well, you can say maybe somebody told her, probably not a good idea to put all that stuff in there, and she might buy into that crap, but she was just like instructed not to do so, just to avoid any unnecessary backlash. But let's take it at face value and say she personally make that decision herself because she doesn't buy into that. Probably because of her heritage, because she is Indian. I am glad at the very least she's not one of those kind of people running the show. Now, who knows if her underlings will listen to her when she, isn't going along to get along. We'll see on that front. But as of right now, I'm just relieved that she's not one of those kind of people.
Why everyone is roasting her and like calling out the situation, raising questions about the future of Microsoft. It definitely is tough because I think Xbox is already dead. I think that, yeah, of course she could do a bit more damage, but there's already been so much damage done that it's hard for me to trust anything. Even if we had some magically cool person put in this position, I would be very skeptical because how are you going to turn things around and actually make this company the amount of money that they've always wanted and gain trust back with your fans very quickly? I just don't think that that is possible. People like Legendary Drops are saying no history in games, no interest in games, Xbox getting suffocated by Microsoft just as Peter Moore feared many years ago, end of an age, end of an era, and end of Xbox. The end of an era, Xbox dies not with a bang, but an HR-sanctioned diversity.
I saw like a post on Facebook earlier today, and it was like during the height of the Xbox 360. That was one hell of an era for Xbox. Happy memories when it was just like, just rolling out the games left and right, man. It was an era, especially when the Xbox 360 Elite rolled around after the Red Ring of Death. If you know, you know. After that issue, it was just like Xbox was just dominating. Like definitely was competing with the I think it was the PS3 was happening around that time. But when Xbox One and the PS4 rolled out, I don't care what anybody says, that was the era of like the console wars, and that was a fun time. There was like fun rivalry that people was like, you might call it childish, and maybe it was, but it was that fun kind of childish that people just wanted to get involved in. Like, Xbox versus PlayStation, and it was just like the main two, and it was competing because all the crazy games, the new features, it was it was just one hell of a fun era, man. And we definitely can't get that back nowadays. At least not genuinely, without it being some kind of corporate push that feels so hollow and inorganic.
Pick tragic end of the console wars death by DEI. This honestly feels like making a vegan the CEO of KFC, and I think that that is a perfect comparison. To everyone thinking it can't get worse, it can always get worse. She's there to find new ways to monetize games using AI. It's there in her message as monetization and AI evolve and influence this future. Gamers, why would you do that? And Xbox is saying we're at the end of Xbox, and it is sad to see that Xbox has fallen so far so fast, but at the same time, they deserve it. If they are not going to listen to their customers, if they are not going to give us what we want and they are not going to evolve with us, then they're not going to get our money, and I would rather put that money elsewhere. So the backlash on social media to this new CEO has been very intense. We haven't seen any big statements from Sarah Bond or Phil Spencer. Seems that they just want the situation to go away, but there are some major changes going on at Xbox. Will they be positive? Probably not. Will they be significantly worse than what we already had? Maybe a little bit, but to be fair, I don't think anybody really trusts or...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's talks, but she's going to have to make some kind of press conference, some kind of statement, something they kind of reassuring the fans, or like the real fans, not the woke brigade, but actually, make a legit statement somehow, somewhere, because right now this is like a wacky time that her and Nintendo and a couple other things got random out of nowhere female CEOs that clearly at least half of them are not qualified for. It just looks good, especially if you get like a woman of color and drag her in the CEO chair. Of course, it looks good in the general public. And not to say like women can't be CEOs of these gaming companies, but once again, it's merit. What's your background? This kind of stuff. If you're gonna get a woman to run like a gaming company, it will help if she has history running a gaming company or being part of some kind of gaming history in some shape or form for X amount of years. I don't care if she like worked for PlayStation, or I'm sorry, not or at least worked on a PlayStation game here and there, and then worked on an Xbox game here and there. But then she rose to the ranks in like gaming journalism or something, and then and then went from there. That will help greatly because not only she is the head of Xbox, but she not only helped facilitate the rollout of a couple of Xbox games, but she done so with PlayStation and maybe one time with Nintendo. It just shows like, oh, she knows her games. She knows how to at least run, rollouts for games, blah, blah, blah. So it won't feel so jarring when you make this announcement about this woman being a CEO of Xbox, because we can look through her background. It's like, oh, wow, she's been pretty much all over the place and she's responsible for such and such games. A few of them probably didn't do so well, but vast majority of did pretty solid. So we can at least cannot we cannot say she doesn't have any history in this field. We can never make that claim. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Right now, we're making a claim, and we got bulletproof evidence showing that this woman has no history in this particular field to justify her running the show. And it's really not fair to her because she's getting right through the coals. And it's not fair to the fans because Xbox is already in trouble, and this is going to just be the final nail in the coffin if she actually doesn't make necessary changes to improve the company. And it's not a good start by being associated with like AI stuff and clearly going to implement that stuff in Xbox, which most people are not really down for.
Loves Xbox the way that they might have 15 or 20 years ago. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below.
All right. That is my thoughts, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you all in a little bit with another video. So take care, and I'll see you all soon. Peace. And let me know what you guys think about this CEO lady. Am I off base here? Am I off base? Because I don't think I'm off base. I think it's fair to ask, if you're going to put in a CEO, regardless of gender, have them have some history in the gaming space. That's all I'll be asking. So at least we can trust you know what you're doing. But anyway, I'll see y'all soon.